And I get it. I know who that 25% is. You're the average American, and you're exhausted. You're exhausted working a double day just to make ends meet. You're exhausted with the inability to find affordable childcare for all the hours you have to work. You're exhausted trying to find affordable health care for that one day you have to take off work. You were exhausted with the media conflict between Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump. You felt disenchanted with the Democratic Party after their betrayal of Bernie Sanders. Couldn't vote for Trump, but you weren't comfortable voting for Clinton either. You didn't vote. You and a whole 25% of the eligible voter population. But you were certain your fellow Americans would make the right choice. There must be people who were better informed who would vote for the right choice. Well, there weren't. Many Americans got sold a bill of goods. They voted for buzzwords, they voted for headlines, and while you weren't confident enough to vote for either, those who found confidence in catchphrases had been mobilized to vote. So November 6th, we need to mobilize to vote. There are more constitutional amendments protecting the right to vote than any other, guaranteeing that the right to vote cannot be abridged on accounts of race, sex, language, ethnicity, religion, residency, payments of a poll tax, or age. And the second section of each amendment reads like this: the Congress shall have power to enforce this article by appropriate legislation. And yet, our Congress continues to vote down legislation that would reduce barriers to voting. Our Constitution gives us the right to a Congress that would vote to uphold our country's rights. The majority is not extremist. The majority is exhausted. And there's a reason we're so tired. America has been fighting an uphill battle against its own government, a government that claims to be a democracy, and yet it's a democracy that continues to vote against the will of its people. It votes against its own people. So this petition to push through the Election Day Holiday Act, making Election Day a national holiday, will let our government know that if they intend to continue representing us, they need to prove right now that they are capable of upholding their commitment to the Constitution, that we have a right to a Congress that will enforce appropriate legislation, guaranteeing that our right to vote will not be barred by race, sex, language, ethnicity, religion, residency, payments of a poll tax, or age. And since only 52% of voters making less than $50,000 a year made it to the polls, and with another 2/3 of registered voters not having enough time to vote, it seems obvious that not voting the Election Day Holiday Act forward is, in fact, a violation of our constitutional right to access that is not barred by race, language, and ethnicity. Sean McElwee of Politico finds in his 2015 article, Income Gap at the Polls, that voter suppression measures disproportionately affect the poor and people of color who do not have voter ID, struggle to find time off, and are probably not registered in the first place. He also finds that wide gaps in turnout also have a significant effect on inequality. So reducing these voting gaps and increasing democratic participation in the economy will force policymakers to consider the interests of the working class. So in making Election Day a holiday, we are making it easier for every citizen to vote. Every last citizen has a right to reasonable access to their government. And if every last citizen votes on November 6th, we will see a change. If we vote for an American government that is representative of what America really looks like today, we will see a change. But we need you to sign this petition and vote, even though you're so tired. Because you are America. You are the majority. And if the majority is too tired to vote, we've already lost.